Awaken your spirit chosen ones. The system was never designed to hold the anointed, it was built to break them. But what they never understood is this: what is built against you only makes you stronger. From the moment you set foot in this world, a system was already in place to keep you from realizing your true power. Every rule, every roadblock, every societal norm, crafted with precision to weaken your spirit and chain your potential. But here's the truth they don't want you to know. Systems built on fear cannot contain those who walk in divine anointing. Fact: 90% of people will spend their entire lives conforming to a system they barely even notice. But you're part of the 10%, the chosen ones who see through the illusions, who weren't just made to survive, but were destined to crush what was meant to crush them. Today, we're diving into why this system was designed to work against you, and how your anointing is the very key to dismantling it. Buckle up, because this is the truth they never wanted you to hear. Number 1. The system is built to break your spirit, not your body. The system was never just about controlling your actions, it's always been about breaking your spirit. From the moment you became aware of your own power, the system began to work against you, not by attacking you outright, but by trying to convince you that your voice, your ideas, and your very essence don't matter. It operates quietly, making you doubt yourself, pushing you to blend in and to lose sight of your uniqueness. They don't want you to know your worth, because when you truly recognize it, you become unstoppable. But the irony is, the more the system tries to suppress you, the more it sharpens you. Every setback, every rejection, every time they overlooked you, it wasn't your defeat. It was a moment of refinement, a moment that only deepened your resolve. The system is terrified of you because it knows that when your spirit is unbreakable, you are more dangerous than anything they could ever control. They've designed everything to make you feel like the odds are stacked against you, from the way society treats your differences to the unspoken rules that seem to block your every move. But here's what they didn't count on: that pressure only creates more resilience. While others crumble under its weight, you become stronger, wiser, and more determined. You're not playing their game. You're rewriting the rules as you go. And that's why the system will never succeed in breaking you. It was never about your body. It was always about crushing your spirit. But they failed to realize you were anointed to rise above it all. Number 2, your anointing terrifies the system. The system is terrified of you, not because of what you say or do, but because of who you are. Your very existence is a threat to everything it stands for. The system thrives on conformity, on people falling in line, doing what they're told, and staying within the limits it sets. But you, as one of the chosen ones, are different. You represent everything the system can't control, and that scares them more than anything else. Your anointing isn't something they can calculate or anticipate. It's not something they can manipulate or mold to fit their agenda. The system knows how to handle rebellion or protests, because those are things it can prepare for. But someone walking in their anointing, that's completely unpredictable. Your power doesn't come from external forces, it comes from something much deeper, a divine source that the system has no control over. What really terrifies them is that they can't figure you out. They can't box you in with labels or stereotypes. They can't predict your next move because your actions aren't based on their rules. They've spent years trying to understand how to contain your light, but the truth is, they never will. Your presence alone challenges the very foundations of their structure. Every time you show up, they're forced to confront the fact that they don't hold all the power. Your anointing is a constant reminder to the system that no matter how much they try to tighten their grip, some forces are beyond their reach. They've spent their energy trying to silence you, but what they don't realize is your silence is even louder. The system isn't just afraid of what you'll do, it's afraid of what you represent, freedom from its control. Number 3, the power of perception. They can't see what you're really capable of. The system thinks it knows you, but it's operating on false assumptions. It looks at you the same way it looks at everyone else, through a lens of limitations, statistics, and surface-level judgments. What it doesn't realize is that your true power isn't something it can measure or even understand. The system is obsessed with what it can see, touch, and control. But your anointing operates in a completely different realm, one that can't be captured by any of its calculations or predictions. That's why they underestimate you. They look at your outward appearance, your current position, or your background, and think they have you figured out. But they have no clue what's going on inside you. They can't see the internal transformation, the spiritual growth, or the deep reserves of strength that have been building up quietly, unseen by the world. This is the real reason they can't predict your next move. They don't even know what drives you. While the system relies on force, manipulation, and control to maintain its power, you're guided by something far greater, divine purpose. That's why they can never stay ahead of you. Your power comes from a place they can't access, and your steps are ordered by forces beyond their reach. Every time they think they have you pinned down, you move in a way that completely throws them off. The system tries to define you by its standards, but you were never meant to fit into their framework. You're operating on a higher plane, driven by an unseen force that they will never fully grasp. That's why you remain a mystery to them. And that's why, no matter what they do, they will always be a step behind. They simply can't see the full picture of who you are. Number 4, your silence is more dangerous than their noise. The system thrives on noise, constant distractions, endless chatter, and superficial drama. It uses all of this to keep people off balance, to stop them from thinking deeply, and to prevent them from seeing what's really going on. But you don't need to shout to be heard. Your silence speaks volumes, and that's what makes you dangerous. While everyone else is caught up in the chaos, you sit quietly, observing, thinking, and moving with purpose. What the system can't stand is that your silence forces it to confront itself. When you're quiet, it can't manipulate you with its usual tricks. You're not reacting like everyone else, scrambling to keep up with the latest trend, argument, or crisis. Instead, you're calm, calculating, and deliberate. That's unsettling for a system that feeds off of confusion and distraction. It needs people to be reactive, to be constantly engaged in the noise. But your silence disrupts that flow. Your silence isn't weakness, it's power. It's the space where you're building strength, sharpening your mind, and preparing for your next move. While they're busy talking, you're making decisions. And by the time they realize what's happening, you're already steps ahead. The system can't control what it can't predict, and your quiet, focused energy is beyond its reach. They expect you to fight the way they do, loudly, aggressively, visibly, but that's not your style. You let them exhaust themselves with their noise while you stay centered and patient. And that's the secret they'll never understand. Your silence is strategy. Your stillness is strength. The less you speak, the more powerful you become, because every quiet moment is preparing you for the right time to act. And when you do, the system won't know what hit it. Number 5. They built this system to contain you, but it's your training ground. The system was never built to let you thrive. It was constructed to contain you, to limit your growth, and to make sure you never reached your full potential. Every obstacle placed in your path was meant to weaken your resolve, to make you question yourself, and to force you to give up. But here's the truth. The very things designed to hold you back have actually been working in your favor all along. Every roadblock, every setback, every time the system tried to crush your spirit, it was unknowingly preparing you for something greater. What they saw as a way to contain you became your training ground. You didn't just survive the struggles. They became the sharpening tools for your wisdom, discernment, and higher consciousness. While others around you fell apart, overwhelmed by the weight of the system, you used each experience to become stronger, smarter, and more resilient. Each challenge was a test, but not one designed to destroy you. It was a test to see how much pressure you could handle before you broke, and you didn't. Instead, you learned, you adapted, you grew. What was meant to crush you only fueled your evolution. Every time the system thought it had won, you rose higher, using its limitations as a launchpad to reach new heights. Now you're not just surviving in this system, you've mastered it. You see through its illusions, recognize its traps, and maneuver through its obstacles with precision. The system may have been built to contain you, but in the process, It unknowingly gave you the exact training you needed to crush it. Now, with your sharpened mind and heightened awareness, you're ready to turn what was meant for your downfall into the very thing that elevates you. Number 6. The system is built on fear. The anointed is built on faith. The entire system is built on fear. Fear of loss, fear of failure, fear of change. It's the foundation upon which everything stands. The architects of this system depend on fear because it keeps people predictable and easily controlled. They use fear to make people cling to the familiar, no matter how broken or unjust it may be. Fear makes people hesitate, second-guess, and stay stagnant because they're terrified of what might happen if they step outside the system's boundaries. But you? Your anointing isn't rooted in fear. It's built on faith. Faith in something far greater than what the system can understand or control. Your faith isn't in the things you can see or touch. It's in the unseen power that guides your steps, even when the path isn't clear. That's why you're able to move when everyone else stalls. While they're frozen in place, worrying about what they might lose, you step forward, trusting that the way will open for you. Your faith allows you to navigate in a way that the system can't predict or prepare for. While the system is busy calculating risks and setting up barriers, you're already moving in a completely different dimension. Fear keeps them paralyzed, but faith keeps you progressing. Every time they hesitate, you advance, because you're not bound by the same limitations. You're not waiting for permission from a broken system to tell you when to act. The architects of the system can't understand how you move with such confidence, even when the path isn't clear, because they only know fear. But your anointing isn't concerned with the obstacles they see. You trust in the unseen, knowing that your steps are divinely ordered. That's why you'll always be ahead while they remain stuck in place. Number 7. You weren't just born to break the system, you were born to create a new one. It's not enough to simply break the system. Tearing down what's broken is only part of your mission, but it's not the end goal. You weren't just born to dismantle the structures that have oppressed and confined you. You were born to create something entirely new. Your anointing isn't about destruction, it's about creation. As a chosen one, you're here to birth a new vision, a new way of being, one that the old world can't even begin to comprehend. The system is afraid of you not just because you expose its flaws, but because you represent the future, something it can't predict, control, or contain. You're not just a disruptor, you're a creator, and that's where your true power lies. While others are content to rage against what exists, your focus is on what comes next. You're already planting the seeds for a future that doesn't operate on the same rules, the same limitations, or the same fears that the system has been built on. The old world fears you because you are the embodiment of change, and change is the one thing it cannot control. Your very existence is a threat because it signals the end of the system's dominance. But it's not just about bringing the system to its knees. It's about what you build afterward. The new world that's emerging through you is one of freedom, authenticity, and power. It's a world where people are no longer confined by the old limitations, but are free to live in alignment with their true purpose. You are the architect of what comes next. The system may try to resist, but the future belongs to those who are anointed to create it. And that is why you're not just here to break the system. You're here to replace it with something they never saw coming. Number 8. Their anointing exposes their frailty. The system thrives on projecting an image of strength and invincibility, but it's all a facade. Beneath its polished surface is a fragile construct held together by lies, manipulation, and fear. The moment you step into any space with your anointing, you become the truth in the middle of that lie. You don't have to raise your voice or fight to prove yourself. The sheer power of your presence exposes the system's frailty. Your anointing is like a light in the darkness, and darkness can't survive when truth shines on it. The system depends on people believing it's untouchable, unbreakable. But when you walk in your purpose, its illusions start to crumble. It can no longer hide behind the masks it has carefully constructed to keep people in line. Your presence alone forces the system to confront what it truly is: weak, insecure, and desperate to hold on to power it never really had. You don't need to battle the system directly. You don't need to engage in the same tactics it uses, because you're operating on a higher level. The system thrives on conflict and chaos, but your strength is rooted in clarity and truth. When you walk in the fullness of your anointing, you naturally reveal the cracks in its foundation. The system's lies unravel simply because you exist as a living embodiment of what it cannot control or manipulate. The truth is, the system has always been vulnerable. It's only been able to survive by convincing people of its strength. But your anointing makes that impossible. When you show up, the system can no longer pretend it's indestructible. You dismantle its illusions not by force, but simply by being who you were anointed to be. Number 9, they don't fit the mold, and that's the point. The system thrives on conformity, designed meticulously to make everyone fit a narrow mold, adhering to its limited standards of behavior, appearance, and thought. It needs people to blend in, to follow the rules without question, and to accept the status quo. But you were never meant to fit in. Your anointing sets you apart, and that's exactly why they fear you. You are a disruptor in a world that demands sameness, and your very existence challenges their authority. The truth is, the system can only maintain control when it can predict and manipulate those within it. It thrives on the familiar, on people who think and act according to its predefined scripts. You represent something entirely different, unpredictability. Your anointing gives you an authenticity that the system simply cannot account for. It's like a wild card thrown into a game, and the outcome becomes uncertain. You don't conform to their expectations. Instead, you break them. Your thoughts are not limited by their frameworks, and your actions are not dictated by their rules. This makes you an enigma, something they can't easily categorize or control. Your uniqueness is a threat to their carefully constructed order because it shows others that there's an alternative way to exist. When you stand out, you inspire others to question their own conformity, and that ripple effect terrifies those who benefit from a compliant populace. In a world where blending in is the norm, your anointing becomes a beacon of hope for those longing for freedom. You are proof that it's possible to live authentically and fearlessly. By not fitting the mold, you don't just defy the system. You encourage others to break free from their chains too. You are the embodiment of change, showing everyone that true power lies not in conformity, but in the courage to stand out and be unapologetically yourself. Number 10. The system thrives on the average. You thrive on the divine. The system thrives on the average, celebrating mediocrity as the standard because it is simple to manage and control. In a world where being good enough is the benchmark, the system can keep people in line, ensuring they don't push boundaries or challenge the status quo. Mediocrity is predictable. It breeds compliance and discourages any form of exceptionalism. It's a safe space for the system, but it's a prison for those who are meant for greatness. You, on the other hand, were anointed with a divine calling that elevates you far beyond the reach of this system. Your potential isn't just greater, it's transformational. While the system encourages conformity and settling for less, your existence represents an unwavering commitment to excellence and authenticity. You are not bound by the limitations they impose. Your divine calling propels you into realms of possibility they can't even begin to fathom. They can't comprehend the magnitude of what you bring to the table because it goes against everything they've constructed. Your drive to rise above the ordinary doesn't just unsettle the system, it threatens its very foundation. The system knows that when individuals like you step into their power, they create waves of change that disrupt the norm. You don't just thrive, you illuminate paths for others to follow, encouraging them to reach for their own divinely inspired potential. This is why they fear you. Your anointing is a reminder that greatness exists outside of their controlled environment, and it inspires others to break free from the chains of mediocrity. You are a beacon of what's possible when one embraces their divine calling, showing that true success isn't measured by compliance, but by the courage to pursue the extraordinary. Your journey isn't just personal, it's a movement that encourages others to awaken to their own divine potential, unraveling the mediocrity the system so desperately tries to uphold. Number 11. Your anointing is not for their validation, it's for your mission. The system thrives on validation, constantly measuring worth against its superficial metrics. It seeks to invalidate anyone who dares to step outside its carefully crafted mold, insisting that success is defined by conformity to its narrow standards. This relentless pressure can be suffocating, especially for those who don't fit neatly into its boxes. But the truth is, your anointing is not meant for their validation. It's meant for your mission. Your worth isn't contingent upon external approval or acceptance. It's rooted in the deeper purpose that drives you, the unique calling that sets you apart from the crowd. While the system values titles, possessions, and social status, you recognize that true significance lies in fulfilling your mission, which transcends any superficial benchmarks of success the world tries to impose. Every chosen one carries within them a calling that is larger than life, one that challenges the very foundation of the system's values. Your mission is not defined by what society deems important, but by the impact you are destined to make in the world. You have the ability to inspire, uplift, and transform lives, and that is a far greater achievement than any accolade the system can offer. By focusing on your mission rather than seeking validation, you break free from the chains of societal expectations. You learn to measure your success not by how others see you, but by how faithfully you pursue your purpose. In doing so, you embody the essence of what it means to be a chosen one, someone who stands firm in their identity and recognizes that their worth is inherent, not assigned by the outside world. The system may try to diminish your light, but it cannot extinguish it. Your anointing serves as a reminder that your mission is sacred and vital, transcending the fleeting measures of success that the world promotes. You are here to fulfill a purpose that is uniquely yours, and that truth is far more powerful than any validation the system could offer. Number 12. The system will collapse under its own weight, but you will stand. The systems of this world are fundamentally flawed, constructed on a foundation of deceit, greed, and fear. They may seem powerful at first glance, but the truth is that they are inherently unstable. The weight of their own corruption is a ticking time bomb, destined to implode under the pressure of its contradictions. Those who have built these systems rely on manipulation and falsehoods to maintain control, but their success is ultimately unsustainable. The very mechanisms that sustain their power will become the catalysts for their downfall. As a chosen one, you possess a unique anointing that allows you to stand firm amid the chaos. You were never designed to fit into this broken structure. Your purpose is to transcend it. While the system clings to its illusion of strength, you have been cultivating resilience and wisdom, preparing yourself for the inevitable collapse. Your strength lies in your authenticity and your connection to something greater than this flawed world. While others are caught in the snare of the system, scrambling for security and validation, you've been quietly fortifying your foundation, aligning yourself with your true mission. When the system begins to crumble, it will be a chaotic spectacle, one that exposes the fragility of its power and the illusion of control. As it collapses under its own weight, you will rise, not because of the system, but in spite of it. Your anointing has equipped you to thrive in a world that has sought to diminish you. You have learned to navigate the storms that the system creates, and instead of being swept away, you will stand tall as a beacon of hope for others. In the aftermath of the system's collapse, your voice will resonate with clarity and truth. You'll be in a position to help others who are lost and disillusioned, guiding them toward a new way of being that reflects the higher principles of love, integrity, and purpose. You have been prepared for this moment, and while the old world falls apart, you will emerge as a leader, a creator, and a visionary, forging a new path for those who have been waiting for a way out of the darkness. In a world where the system thrives on fear, conformity, and mediocrity, you are called to stand out and shine brighter than ever before. Your anointing is not just a gift. It's a powerful tool designed to expose the frailties of a structure that is crumbling under the weight of its own lies. As you embrace your divine purpose, remember that you were born not only to break free from this flawed system, but to create a new one, one built on truth, love, and authentic connection. The collapse of the old ways is not something to fear. It's an opportunity for transformation and rebirth. You have been prepared for this moment, and your unique mission will pave the way for countless others to rise alongside you. So, as the old world fades, hold your head high and step boldly into your calling. Your journey is just beginning, and the impact you're destined to make is beyond measure. If you resonate with this message and are ready to embrace your role as a chosen one, I invite you to join our community. Subscribe to Awaken Your Spirit channel for more insights, inspiration, and discussions that empower you to fulfill your divine mission. Together, we will navigate the changes ahead, uplift one another, and transform the world into a place where our true potential can flourish. Don't just be a part of the journey, lead it. Hit that subscribe button, and let's walk this extraordinary path together.